Casinos make billions every year, and that's no accident. Behind the lights, the noise, and the excitement, former employees say there are 9 slot machines designed or strategically placed to drain your money faster than you think. These aren't rare machines in the back of the room. They're the popular ones you've probably played yourself. From bonus rounds that were predetermined, to volatility cycles engineered to keep you chasing one more spin, to machines tightened during peak hours, everything is calculated. Today, we're breaking down the exact slots insiders warn players never to touch and why casinos love them so much. Machine number 1, Buffalo Gold. If there's one slot that ex-casino employees warn people about more than any other, it's Buffalo Gold. The machine that looks harmless, nostalgic, and fun, but quietly drains more money than most players ever realize. The moment you sit down, the game hits you with bright animations, loud "Buffalo" screams, and the promise of massive golden wins. But according to former floor managers, that excitement is part of the trap. Buffalo Gold is built around extremely long dry spells, often stretching 60, 80, even 100 spins with almost nothing happening. And during those dead stretches, players convince themselves a bonus is due. That belief is exactly what the machine is designed to create. Insiders say Buffalo Gold uses a volatility cycle that intentionally alternates between small bursts of wins and long cold periods. When you finally trigger the bonus, the game makes it look like something huge is coming. Gold heads, stacked buffalo, wild multipliers, everything flashing at once. But former technicians revealed that most bonuses fall into a low-tier payout range the moment the feature starts. The machine already knows what you're getting. The stacked wilds are another psychological trick. They look dramatic, buffalo symbols lining up across the reels, almost forming giant wins. But insiders say the programming makes these patterns appear often enough to keep players excited, but rarely in the combinations needed to hit meaningful payouts. It's visual hype, nothing more. One ex-employee even admitted they watched players spend thousands chasing one good bonus, convinced they were getting closer because of the near misses. That's the power of Buffalo Gold. It doesn't rob you fast. It keeps you hooked, making you feel like you're one spin away from redemption. But trust the people who've worked behind the scenes. Buffalo Gold is one of the most profitable machines for casinos and one of the most expensive for players. And if you think this one is bad, wait until we get to the next slot on the list. It's a fan favorite, but insiders say it uses psychological tricks even deeper than Buffalo Gold ever did. Machine number 2, Lightning Link Happy Lantern. Now let's move on to one of the most dangerously addictive machines casinos love to showcase front and center. Lightning Link Happy Lantern. If Buffalo Gold drains your bankroll with long dead stretches, Happy Lantern does something even smarter. It makes you feel like you're in control when you never were. Former casino employees say Lightning Link machines use a design technique called false momentum feedback. The moment you trigger that famous hold and spin bonus, the machine shifts into full psychological attack mode. Those glowing golden orbs that drop one by one, they're not random. They're not reacting to your timing. They're not rewarding your skill. According to insiders, the entire outcome is calculated the instant the bonus triggers. Everything after that, the suspense, the flashing lights, the dramatic one more spin countdown, is pure stage performance. The machine already knows whether you're getting $12, $80, or absolutely nothing meaningful. What makes Happy Lantern especially manipulative is how it weaponizes near misses. Players report seeing empty spots on the screen where the big orbs almost appeared. That almost feeling triggers dopamine, spikes identical to actual wins. Former slot techs said these near misses are deliberately tuned to occur at specific intervals to keep the player emotionally hooked. One ex-employee described watching the same player sit at a Happy Lantern machine for 6 hours straight, convinced that the big one was right around the corner because the orb patterns looked promising. But behind the scenes, the machine had already locked him into a low-range payout cycle. And here's the detail casinos never advertise. Happy Lantern machines reportedly have recovery cycles. Long stretches where the bonus frequency drops dramatically after a high payout period. This is done to compensate for earlier wins and pull the machine back to casino-targeted profitability. Players mistake it for a cold streak, but it's actually mathematical balancing hidden behind pretty animations. The bottom line? Happy Lantern is engineered to make you think you're building towards something big, when in reality, the machine made that decision the second the bonus started. Machine number 3, Monopoly Millionaire. Now let's move to Monopoly Millionaire, a machine that looks fun, friendly, nostalgic, and secretly hits players harder than almost any branded slot on the floor. Former casino staff have said this machine is a perfect example of how casinos weaponize nostalgia. You see the Monopoly logo, Mr. Monopoly in his top hat, the board, the colors, and your brain instantly thinks familiar, trustworthy, harmless. Casinos know this, and they twist it to their advantage. Here's the uncomfortable truth most players never hear. Branded machines like Monopoly Millionaire cost casinos a fortune in licensing fees, and guess who ends up paying for that? You. Through tighter RTP, stricter volatility, and bonus rounds that look exciting but pay almost nothing. Insiders say the RTP often falls into the 78 to 82% range, depending on the casino. That's brutally low, especially compared to classic real slots that operate closer to 94 to 96%. But the real trick is the bonus round. When the board bonus starts, Mr. Monopoly walks around the board, landing on properties, picking up cash, teasing big prizes. It feels interactive. It feels random. It feels like you might hit something huge every second. But according to former technicians, the entire outcome is already locked in. The path is predetermined. The prize is predetermined. And all that gameplay is simply a show to keep you emotionally hooked. Worst of all, the machine deliberately flashes the big rewards you almost got, maybe 1 or 2 spaces away, creating the illusion that you were this close to a $5,000 payout. That's not an accident. That's near-miss programming doing exactly what it was designed to do. Make you spin again, and again, and again. Former workers say players often chase this machine longer than almost any other because the theme tricks them into believing it's safer or fairer. But behind the friendly visuals, it's one of the most efficient wallet drainers in the entire building. And the next machine on the list, well, it takes psychological manipulation to a completely different level. Machine number 4, China Shores. China Shores is one of those machines that looks harmless. Bright colors, calm music, friendly pandas. But according to former casino employees, it's quietly one of the most dangerous traps on the casino floor, and not because it's aggressive, but because it's too comfortable. Insiders say China Shores uses a mathematical model built around stacked symbol waves. That means you can go from nothing to a full screen of matching symbols in one spin, and that unpredictability is exactly what keeps players glued to the seat much longer than they intended. But here's where things get sneaky. Former floor techs claim China Shores has one of the highest illusion of progress frequencies. You'll see 2 bonus symbols land constantly, with the third one almost hitting. You'll see stacked wilds just barely miss lining up. You'll get those tiny 60-cent wins that feel like momentum, but actually drain your bankroll slower and quieter than you realize. According to one ex-employee, China Shores was so effective at holding players that casinos often placed it in the middle of the floor. Not in a loud, flashy area, but in calmer sections where players stay longer. They weren't trying to hype you up. They were trying to keep you relaxed, because relaxed players don't leave. There's another trick too, the free games or credits decision. You think you're choosing, but insiders say it's all predetermined. The machine already knows exactly what you're getting. The choice is just there to make you feel involved, like you're making a strategic decision. You're not. It's theater. One former casino host admitted they watched regulars spend entire evenings on China Shores chasing that one perfect bonus. Some hit big, most didn't. But the machine's gentle pacing made losses feel softer. And that psychological comfort cost players more money in the long run. So yeah, China Shores isn't loud, it isn't flashy, but casinos love it because most players don't notice how much they're losing until the session is already over. Machine number 5, Dragon Link, Panda Magic. Dragon Link. Panda Magic is one of those machines that looks harmless. Bright colors, smooth animations, relaxing music. But behind that friendly exterior is one of the most calculated money-draining designs casinos use today. Former casino workers say Panda Magic isn't just popular. It's engineered to keep players stuck for hours. And the key lies in what insiders call streak-based volatility. Here's what that means. This machine intentionally cycles between warm streaks and cold streaks. During the warm streaks, the game throws out bonuses just frequently enough to make you feel like you're onto something, even if the wins are small. Players start thinking, okay, it's heating up. One more bonus and I'm in profit. I can feel it turning around. But here's the twist. The warm streak is bait, because immediately after, the machine shifts into long cold periods where bonuses barely show up at all, not broken, not unlucky, programmed. And the worst part? The transition is slow, almost invisible. You never feel the cliff. You just drift into losses thinking, it's just a bad patch. Panda Magic also has one of the most manipulative near-miss systems of any Dragon Link game. Former technicians revealed that the machine is designed to repeatedly drop orbs in patterns that look close to a major jackpot. 11 out of 15 spots filled, a major symbol sliding past the screen, a mini landing next to a major. It feels like you're inches away from that dream win. But insiders say those moments are visual persuasion tools, not real chances. Even the famous hold and spin feature, the part everyone loves, is predetermined the moment it triggers. That dramatic sequence where you collect orb after orb, just animation. You're not building anything. You're watching the machine unveil the payout it already calculated. Employees say Panda Magic is one of the top machines where players sit for 6 to 8 hours straight, chasing that big bonus they're convinced is right around the corner. It isn't. The machine knows exactly how much it's going to give you long before you press the button. Machine number 6, Golden Egypt. Golden Egypt is one of those slots that looks harmless at first glance. Bright pharaoh symbols, shiny scarabs, smooth animations. But behind all that decoration, former casino staff say this machine is a quiet money vacuum disguised as a fun-themed game. According to insiders, Golden Egypt is what casino workers call a slow drain machine. It doesn't wipe you out immediately like some high-volatility monsters, but instead chips away at your bankroll little by little while making you feel like you're doing fine. Here's how the trick works. The machine gives you lots of small wins, 40 cents, 60 cents, maybe $1.20. But almost every one of them is less than your bet. You feel like you're hitting something, but your balance keeps going down. Former slot techs said Golden Egypt's true danger is its hit frequency illusion. You'll see winning flashes constantly, but the game is mathematically tuned, so those hits barely return a fraction of what you wager. Your brain registers, I'm winning often, but your wallet tells a different story. Insiders also revealed that Golden Egypt is strategically located in casino walkways and near entrances, places where casual players are most likely to sit down just for a couple spins. Those players don't track their bankroll closely, and Golden Egypt milks that psychology perfectly. And the bonus round? That's another trap. Golden Egypt gives free spins fairly often, but leaked reports say the machine heavily weights them toward minimum outcomes. You'll get 10 free spins and walk out with $3 or $4. Tiny payouts, but just enough to convince you the next bonus might be better. One former floor manager described it perfectly. Golden Egypt keeps players hopeful without ever actually paying them. It's the kind of machine casinos love, steady, predictable profit with players who don't realize how badly they're falling behind. Machine number 7, Wheel of Fortune, Triple Extreme Spin. If there's one slot that everyone recognizes, and one casinos quietly love for all the wrong reasons, it's Wheel of Fortune, Triple Extreme Spin. The bright wheel, the nostalgia, the iconic sound effects. It feels trustworthy, familiar, safe. But according to former casino technicians, this machine is one of the most cleverly engineered money drains on the entire gaming floor. Insiders say Triple Extreme Spin routinely runs with one of the harshest RTP ranges among big brand slots, often around 76 to 78% depending on the casino. That means for every $100 you put in, the machine statistically keeps more than $20, and it adds up fast. But here's what makes it especially dangerous. Casinos position this machine in prime, high-traffic zones, near entrances, near the bar, beside the table games, because they know the branding sells itself. People walk by, see the famous wheel, and sit down without a second thought. Former slot employees revealed that Triple Extreme Spin is calibrated for exactly one purpose: time on device. That means the game intentionally feeds you tons of tiny wins, $3 here, $5 there, maybe $7. Just enough to make you think you're holding steady while your bankroll quietly sinks lower and lower. And then there's the wheel bonus, the big moment everyone plays for. But according to leaked internal memos, the bonus wheel isn't nearly as random as it looks. The flashy spinning segments, the sound cues, the almost hit jackpot slices, it's all designed to build tension, create emotional spikes, and trick your brain into believing the next spin might be the one. Spoiler, the machine already decided your prize the moment you triggered the feature. The wheel is just a light show. Former technicians even admitted they watched this machine drain more money per session than many modern high-volatility slots. Not because it hits huge jackpots, but because players stay glued to it longer, hypnotized by the brand. Triple extreme spin isn't dangerous because it's unpredictable. It's dangerous because it's predictably tight and wrapped in packaging that makes players forget that fact entirely. Machine number 8, Quick Hit Platinum, Triple Blazing 7S. Now let's move on to a machine that looks old school on the surface. But behind the scenes, it's one of the most aggressively tuned money extractors on the floor. Quick Hit Platinum, Triple Blazing 7s. This slot has a reputation, and former casino workers confirm it, as a silent bankroll vacuum. It doesn't rely on flashy animations or huge screens. Instead, it uses clean, simple mechanics that let it hit you with losses much faster than you realize. Here's the trick most players miss. Casinos push you toward the higher denomination versions of this machine. You think $5 per spin means better odds. And technically, yes, the RTP is slightly higher. But casino insiders say the real advantage is the speed at which players burn money. Higher denomination equals bigger bets. Bigger bets equals faster bankroll drain. Simple math, brutal results. A former slot tech explained it like this. Even when Quick Hit gives you those mini wins, $10, $15, $20, they're engineered to feel like victories, but they never put you ahead. These small payouts are intentional, psychological breadcrumbs to keep you spinning. And the famous quick hit symbols? According to internal reports, the bonus outcome is already decided before you see the first symbol land. The reveal animation is drama, not gameplay. Players think they're building towards something. The machine already knows the ending. One former floor manager said he's watched players dump hundreds into this machine without realizing how quickly it happens. Because the wins keep interrupting the losing streak just enough to make everything feel balanced. But it isn't balanced, it's calculated. And the deeper you go, the harder it feels to walk away. Exactly how the casino wants it. Machine number 9, 88 Fortunes. Now let's talk about 88 Fortunes. A machine that looks friendly, colorful, even lucky. But behind that cheerful exterior hides one of the most quietly manipulated systems former casino employees have blown the whistle on. Everyone loves the gold symbols, the upbeat music, the foo bat feature, the growing pots. But according to insiders, 88 Fortunes was engineered to keep you chasing something you were never going to hit. Former slot attendants revealed that their casino ran what they called optimization sessions on 88 Fortunes. That's a polite way of saying the machine could be set to play tighter during busy hours, nights, weekends, big events, when people were more likely to sit down and keep spinning no matter how dry the machine felt. Casinos will deny this forever, but ex-employees claim they saw technicians log into the back end and increase volatility, so bonuses triggered less often, stretched further apart, and paid significantly lower when they finally appeared. And then there's the jackpot structure. Mini, minor, major, grand. Looks exciting, right? Except insiders say more than 90% of jackpot hits are mini, often under $50. The big numbers are basically window dressing, bait to keep you emotionally invested. The most misleading feature is the foo bat picking game. You think you choose which gold tiles to reveal. You think you're controlling your fate. But according to technicians, the machine already knows the exact jackpot you'll get before the picking even begins. All those symbols you flip are nothing more than decoration, a scripted sequence that matches a payout. The machine predetermined the moment the feature triggered, and it works. Players keep spinning because every pick feels like a chance at something big, even if the outcome was locked before you touch the screen. And there you have it. 9 slot machines that casinos absolutely don't want you understanding. Each one has its own tricks, its own psychology, and its own way of draining your bankroll while making you think you're almost there. But now you know exactly what's happening behind the screen. The volatility traps, the near-miss programming, the predetermined bonuses, the fake feeling of control, the shiny brands hiding terrible odds. All of it. Casinos rely on confusion. They rely on speed. They rely on players chasing that next spin. But once you see the mechanics, the tricks stop working. You stop being the predictable player they expect and start playing on your terms. If this breakdown opened your eyes even a little, then do the next smart thing. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who still thinks slots are random luck, because the truth is simple, casinos have their secrets, but now you know 9 of the biggest ones.